Let's talk about something really fascinating. Imagine for a moment that your entire life is a book filled with all the characters, the plot twists, the ups and downs, and it's a book that only you can write. Today, we're going to dig into the science behind that book and explore why taking the time to actually read your own story is one of the most powerful things you can do. So I'll just ask you straight up, your life is a book. When was the last time you actually read it? I mean, really sat down and revisited a few chapters. It's so easy to get caught up writing the next page that we forget to look back at the story that shaped who we are today. So let's dive in and see why that's so important. All right, so it all starts with the most incredible storyteller in the universe, our own brain. And it's not just some passive camera recording events. Nope. It has this incredible, almost magical ability to take all the scattered moments of our lives and weave them into one single coherent story. Think about your brain like the CPU, the central processing unit of your entire life. Every single second of every single day, whether you're paying attention or not, it is recording details. It's storing data, logging experiences. It's constantly building the raw material for your personal story. Now, here's where it gets really cool. The brain doesn't just record dry facts like, I went to the beach on Tuesday. It uses this amazing process called contextual memory. It's kind of like the brain's superpower. It records the entire experience by linking together everything you were sensing in that moment. So a single memory isn't just one thing. It's a whole symphony of inputs. Think about your favorite childhood meal. The memory isn't just the taste, right? It's layered with what you saw, the sounds in the kitchen, the smell of it cooking, and most importantly, how it made you feel. That's a contextual memory in action. So let's zoom in a bit and see how this all works on a microscopic level. How does the brain physically write this story? Well, it all comes down to these fundamental little building blocks of memory. To really get the sheer scale of this operation, just think about this number for a second. Tens of billions. You have tens of billions of nerve cells, or neurons, in your brain. Every single one is like a tiny little scribe, ready to help record a piece of your life's incredible story. And the process itself is actually beautifully simple. When you experience something, information comes in, and one neuron fires off a signal to another one across this tiny little gap called a synapse. And it's right there in the strengthening of those connections that your memories are physically encoded. Your experiences literally become part of your biology. But here's the thing. It's not just one neuron holding on to a whole memory. It's way more like an orchestra. You've got one section of neurons, say the violins, holding the visual part of a memory. The horns have the sound. The percussion has the emotion. And when you recall that memory, the conductor, your consciousness, cues the whole orchestra, and they all play together to recreate that experience. Okay, so we've established our brains are incredible, non-stop recording devices. That's awesome. But, in our crazy, fast-paced world, just recording everything isn't enough. We have to actually hit pause and make sense of it all. And this is the real challenge, isn't it? Our days are just packed. We wake up, we check our phones, we work, we run errands, we deal with a million distractions, we go to sleep. We're so busy collecting all these new experiences that we rarely stop to figure out what the ones we've already had actually mean to us. Well, there's a term for the solution: learning reflection. Now, I know it sounds a little academic, but it's incredibly simple. It's just the intentional act of hitting the pause button, looking back at your day or your week, and just asking yourself, so what was that all about? What did that mean? And this is why it's so powerful. Without reflection, life can feel like just a random jumble of events, one thing after another, with no real connection. But when you start to reflect, you begin to see the patterns. You realize how each small moment is actually a piece of a much bigger jigsaw puzzle, the picture of who you are and where you're headed. So you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great. How do I actually start? Well, the good news is the tools you need are probably already in your house right now, just waiting to help you unlock all those amazing stories stored in your brain. Here's a super simple exercise you can do today. Seriously, go find an old photo or pick up an object that means something to you. A piece of jewelry, a souvenir from a vacation. Just hold it in your hand and ask yourself those two simple questions. You will be absolutely amazed at the rich, contextual memories that come flooding back. And this brings us to a really modern problem.
In the past, photos were precious, right? We had to develop them. We put them in these special albums. Today, we have thousands, literally thousands of photos on our phones. And the risk is that the sheer volume makes each individual photo feel less important. We just scroll right past them without ever really stopping to feel the story behind the image.
So let's get to the final and honestly, the most important part of all this. This isn't just about feeling nostalgic or taking a trip down memory lane. Connecting with your personal story has profound, real-world benefits for living a good life right here and right now. When you get down to it, reading your own story is a powerful tool for your well-being. It helps you see the bigger picture, connecting what you do every day to your core values that gives you purpose. When you remember the tough times you've already conquered, you build the resilience to face whatever's next. Some studies even suggest this kind of active recall can help promote long-term brain health. But maybe most importantly, it's a constant reminder that your story is unique and it is valuable. The source material we looked at for this explainer put it perfectly with this quote. Your life story isn't just something that happened in the past. It is your armor for today. It's your immunity when things get tough. It is a deep, powerful well of strength you can draw from anytime you need it. So, as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this thought. You are both the reader and the writer of this incredible book. You've just spent a little time looking back at the chapters already on the page. Now, the pen is back in your hand. What's your next chapter going to be about?